Hey everyone, it's Sanni. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is my Pamela Anderson inspired makeup tutorial. Several of you have sent me pictures of Pamela's No Tofu cover, and she's doing a total make-under. I'm not sure how her hair grew so fast to be a bob from the pixie cut that she had. That's probably a wig, but luckily I had cut my hair into a bob. So it's perfect, like it's great timing. Her hair couldn't possibly become that long that quickly. So I love her look in the cover. It's a very kind of a modern Doris Day. So she's got a liner. It's a slightly different take on like a cat eyeliner for hooded eyes. So I'll talk you through it. Also, there's a link below to my original hooded eye eyeliner. Eyeshadows very, very light. Face is matte. Lips are kind of nude peachy. And my little bow is from American Apparel. You can get them from anywhere. Hers was dark blue, and I really wanted a dark blue one but didn't have one. But yeah, she is now officially the only one whose makeup I've done like twice, like whose makeup tutorial I've done twice. And I can't believe it's her, and clearly there's something to her makeup. I think she looks amazing in it. She's clearly kind of laid off the insane lip injections. Her brows are bigger. She just looks a million times better and so much younger as well. So yeah, I am going to get started with the tutorial. Check out, I've put the pictures in my Pinterest, so check out the link below for that. I think I've got a little bit of eyelash glue. It keeps getting stuck. Sorry. So yeah, check out the links and follow me on Pinterest anyways. Pinterest, and follow me on Instagram, and you know, all of that lovely social media. I think I mostly do Instagram right now. I'm really bad on Facebook. I should do more, but I don't. Pinterest, I go through weeks, like especially when I'm thinking of buying something, that I pin loads, and then I forget about it for 3 weeks, and then I pin again, so it's kind of sporadic. Anyways, yeah, let's get started with the tutorial. Primer. I want to do my face first because especially my chin, oh my god, I've got annoying spots, so I really need to cover my skin before I can talk to you guys properly. I don't know what's going on. For some reason, I've just gotten these breakouts around my chin. I don't know if I'm touching it more or what is going on. This primer is by Face of Australia, and it's called Face Base Primer. I'm absolutely loving it right now. It has a tiny bit of silicone, but it's not one of those silicone ones, and I much prefer those. For foundation, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hours, and my shade is Golden Beige 140. And I recently saw Jodie from Guru Beauty do a review on this. Great review. Actually, I'll link her video below. She's fabulous. She's actually from Australia. Oh, there's a little Australia thing coming out. But she does great foundation reviews. I'm using the foundation with my beauty blender, and most of the things she said about the foundation, I was like, oh my god, I so agree. And even though she's a brunette and I'm blonde, we're the same coloring, so and similar skin, so most things that she says about foundations usually apply to me. So check out her channel. Anyways, I like using this foundation when my foundation needs to stay on all day, because it doesn't stay for 24 hours for sure, but 14-16 hour day on me, it totally works. MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW30. And I am using the Sigma Precision Flat Angled P88. I'm not going to powder right now. I'm going to do the eyes and then we'll powder after, so let's zoom in closer. I'm going to start with MAC paints in Sublime Nature. I've been obsessed with this recently. I just keep using it for every makeup look, and MAC's 252. I'm just going to spread it all over the lid and also kind of into the inner corner. Then all over the lid, I'm going to use MAC Grain, and I'm doing that with my Tom Ford 11 brush. You totally don't need a Tom Ford brush to do this makeup look. I just happen to think it's one of the best brushes ever invented by mankind. So thank you very much, Tom Ford. So I'm putting it all over the moving part of my eyelid and also in the inner corner. Kind of going under a little bit as well. I'm switching to MAC Vanilla. I'm going to keep the same brush. I just kind of clean it a little bit because it doesn't matter if there's a tiny bit of shimmer. And MAC Vanilla, I'm going to take all over my brow bone. MAC Cork, a much loved. It's a warm medium brown, and I'm using it with my MAC 213, much loved by me, as you can see. It might be time to get a new one. And I'm just doing a very light crease with it, like super light, nothing too defined. And I'm switching to MAC's Coral, and I'm going to take a slightly bigger, fluffier brush. This is Sigma E25 blending, and I'm going to blend out that crease with it. I love using this Coral for a like warm, slightly vintage inspired blend, and also go all the way. I was looking at her picture, she really kind of like goes almost all the way to her brow here in the inner corner with the crease. So don't just leave it kind of outside. I use Cork almost, well, not on every job I do, but so many. It is just like an amazing color. Cork and Wedge. And I'm going back to the Cork, and I'm just using a 217, and kind of I'm doing middle part of my lower lid. So don't go all the way to the inner corner, don't go all the way to the outer corner, just the middle. Liner time, I'm using MAC's Blacktrack, and I'm also using the Smashbox angled liner brush. Love this. Now I'm going to get a little bit of the color on the brush, and first we're just going to do a thin line of liner. Now one thing I do need to say is, because I've got eyelash extensions, it's actually pretty difficult for me to see where I'm lining my eye. It's quite funny. So because I kind of have to go over. So I'm hoping this is going to go well. Who knows? And make it super thin when you go to the inner corner. So Pam has hooded eyes, and I noticed what they had done with her liner is another kind of trick. I've got one hooded eyes tutorial, I'll link to it below, but this is another trick you can do if you don't have severely hooded eyes, is actually just take the liner, like the wing, quite low. So don't attempt to wing it up. Don't follow this standard, when we kind of say that, like follow it up. Go much more to the side, and that way your hood is not going to be in the way. But this only works if your eyes are not super hooded. But that's what they had done with her on the shoot. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to just sketch it out. Kind of something like that. So because my eyes are not crazy hooded, then I can actually, my hood, I don't know if you can see where it ends a couple of millimeters higher. So I can get away with kind of doing this type of a line. And then just connect the actual liner. I really don't like doing eyeliner when I've got extensions on. And then again, just look straight and see that your hood is not going over. If you are, then you'll need to kind of correct it a little bit. So yeah, check the video linked below. Also, what you're noticing, this type of liner actually goes quite low. There's a picture of her from the side, I'll have it on my Pinterest page, and yeah, it's actually almost kind of lower than the outer corner of your eye. So if your eyes are too kind of droopy, don't worry about this kind of liner, it's not going to work. But if your eyes are just mildly hooded or not hooded at all, then you can kind of play with it. I am also going to do little, almost kind of dots of liner in my lash line. I'm just working it inside of the lower lash line, so it's not really a continuous line. She had two different kinds of eyeliner. They probably changed her eyeliner kind of like, you know, in the middle of the shoot. In the cover, it went all the way to the outer corner, but on the side view, it didn't, and I really like that one, so that's kind of like the variation of it that I am doing here. But yeah, you can go all the way as well. Now I'm using some MAC individual lashes. I'm going to use the shortest ones. Might have to use the kind of like the middle length one as well. I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm going to do my lower lash line. I've got lash extensions right now, so I would be doing my upper lash line as well with lashes, but no need to right now. I'm using the NYX lash glue, and I am going to glue some of these teeny tiny ones first. I'll see if they're long enough onto my lower lash line. We'll have to see if they're long enough. I'm gonna, once the glue has dried, I'm putting on mascara on top of them. But the idea is you're kind of like looking very starry-eyed. I'm putting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each eye. So while that's drying, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. My eyebrows are actually, well, for me, they're quite dark right now because I have dyed them and I've been really growing them in. So I am going to use MAC's Wedge to do my brows. This is a little tiny bit warm, and Pamela's brows tend to be on the warmer side versus cool. I'm sure she's got like some red hair in her heritage somewhere because they always seem to be quite warm. So thus the color choice. Her brows are thinner than mine, so I'm really kind of keeping inside of the brow shape and not making it any kind of thicker. But I am making it quite defined. Her brows are, however, like loads thicker than they used to be. I don't know if they actually just did it for this shoot or if that's her, I don't know, current brow style, because for ages they used to be really thin and it was actually quite aging on her. I'm using a little bit of Smashbox Full Exposure on my lower lashes, and obviously you would be doing your top lashes as well if you're not avec les cils, les extensions de cils in French, lash extensions. I'm not putting a crazy amount on my lower lashes though. A little bit of NYX yellow under my eyes, not too much. I took the foundation all the way up to my eyes. I'm just going to use the same Sigma brush I used for my spots. So because I took my foundation all the way up, I really like using the yellow. By itself, it's a little bit too yellow, but when it's mixing with the foundation underneath, it's perfect. I love it. Then I'm powdering her a little bit. I am sorry, I am using a product that I'm using up. This is a broken Illamasqua powder. As you can see, it was almost gone. Even the case is broken. So it's, you know, an all over nasty looking product. I am gonna use a big brush this time because we are gonna powder the whole face. It's a matte look. Not fairly matte, it is a matte look. So you don't need to skimp on the powder as such. And I just realized I started doing the whole face and had not zoomed down. I'm going to use Physicians Formula BB bronzer, and I'm light to medium. A lot of people were asking that when I used it previously. I'm just going to keep using the same huge big brush. And I'm doing not bronzing my whole face, so kind of like, you know, the 3's and the E's, but then I'm also doing a little bit more on the top of my cheekbones and on my nose. I'll show you a slightly weird habit that I've gotten into doing with contouring. I'm using MAC Blot powder, and this is in deep dark. So it is a powder that is way too dark for me, but it's quite a cool tone. And I'm using the MAC 138 brush. Because this is a powder, it doesn't give you a crazy amount of color immediately. It kind of like just builds it up slightly, and I have been loving this for contour. Like, you can use the color deep dark even though I'm in, well, right now I'm like an NC, almost like 35, not quite, but normally I'm an NC 25. And this works really well, but because it's so sheer, it works great as a contour. So you can kind of like build it up slowly and not go too crazy. This is not really a blush look, so I am using, another hit the pan kind of product. I am using the Douceur by NARS, and I'm using my Illamasqua blush brush. Love this, it's so soft. And I'm just doing kind of apples of my cheeks. Well, yeah, I guess this is apples of my cheeks, and a little bit higher. But this really is not a look about blush. This is more, it's creating a more definition, tiny bit of color, but definition. And of course, on top of that, I'm gonna add my cabana. I will never be without this product again. And I'm just gonna use that with the big brush to blend it all in together without too much of a highlight. What are we missing? We're missing lips. Lip liner, Max Oak, and actually her lips didn't look ginormous. I think she stopped it with the lip injections, but she did do her classic kind of very browny liner with a peach lip, so that's what we're gonna do. Really was a total make under. Bigger brows, smaller lips, fresh makeup. And lipstick is MAC's Shy Girl. It's a nude, but it's a peachy nude. Oh, sorry about that. I think her lipstick actually was a little bit more matte in the shoot, but with all this other matteness, I just felt like just a tiny bit of sheen. This is a cream sheen. Tiny bit of sheen, cream sheen. So this is my Pam Anderson inspired, well, Pam Anderson of late inspired makeup tutorial. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you again next week. Bye.